City starting lineups. The Boston Celtics, who went 4-4 in the preseason, then lost last night at home to the Bulls with Tony Delk, Paul Pierce at the guards, Antoine Walker, Tony Battie up front, along with Eric Williams and Vin Baker these days coming off the bench. And for the Wizards, who went 5 up, 3 down in the preseason and then lost last night, Larry Hughes, Jerry Stackhouse in the backcourt, Brian Russell, with Brendan Haywood back in the starting lineup, and Kwame Brown, who had an excellent game last night following a very strong preseason. For more on Michael Jordan, let's check in with Cheryl Miller. Cheryl?
Thanks a lot, Marvel. Just before the game, I spoke to Michael Jordan about that tough loss last night and also his scoreless performance in the second half. And he basically summed it up like this: we had no rhythm and we couldn't knock down the open shots. I also asked him, is he comfortable yet coming off the bench? And he said, no, not really. It's still new. I just have to learn how to adjust to it and learn how to find my rhythm and flow as soon as I step on the court. Now, Marv, Mike, and Jeff, I understand the reason behind bringing Jordan off the bench, but realistically, how long do you think it'll last?
I think that depends on his conditioning as far as the knee, and Doug Collins feeling comfortable that he's not going to get Michael Jordan re-injured. Doug is probably more concerned about Michael than Michael is about his knee right now. He doesn't want to see Michael go through what he went last year. Michael's competitive spirit was so great that he kept upping the minutes last year, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, and put that much pressure on himself to try and turn his franchise around. Doug Collins sincerely is interested in Michael as a person, but Doug likes to win also. Let's be honest.
The officials: Jack Neese, Nolan Fine, Mark Wunderlich. And the Celtics control the opening tip. Last year, the Celtics took 3 of 4 against the Wizards. Antoine Walker. Antoine did not shoot well last night. And here comes Larry Hughes playing the point. It's the screen from Kwame Brown. Ryan Russell. And here is Jerry Stackhouse. The tip missed by Brown. And it will be Washington ball.
Yeah, last night you saw them play that game, and one of the things you mentioned was the inability of their front court people to convert scores when they had their hands on the ball. There's another tip opportunity that does not go in.
Absolutely. Their bigs dropped 10 or 11 passes in the paint last night and missed opportunities with second shots. With Stackhouse and Jordan on the floor, they're going to get many opportunities, but they have to cash in so that the pressure is relieved from Stackhouse and Jordan.
Russell coming up short and rebounded by Walker.
Let's remember that Leighton started last night in place of Haywood, so Haywood gets the center spot tonight.
Brendan Haywood has not had a good start. That's a 3 for Antoine Walker, who was only 5 for 23 from the field last night. Did have 11 rebounds and 4 assists. Paul Pierce had a big game with 28. Stackhouse played by Williams, lost him off the pick. Pierce with a beautiful move. Little crossover to set it up.
Pierce is a lot like Allen Iverson. They're much better going to the baseline away from the traffic than they are into the middle. You have to cut off the baseline on Paul Pierce's penetration.
Washington 0 for 5 from the field. Coming off the 30% shooting last night. Make it 0 for 6 as Hughes came up with air. And that's a traveling violation on Walker.
There's an example of Paul Pierce pitching the ball ahead to his teammate. Walker wasn't looking for the basketball. Antoine Walker was trying to run the lane and get out in front. They just weren't ready for each other that time.
Live TNT NBA Thursday. Spanish language feed is now available via SAP.
Jeff, are you doing that this evening? Spanish feed?
You guys switch off, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Crowd reacting. They wanted Kwame Brown to take that shot. He got it. And Brendan Haywood is able to score and draws the foul. Tony Battie from outside. And the Celtics now lead by the score of 7-3. Tony Battie coming off his best season. He averaged 7 points, 6 rebounds, but Still a ways to go for this 6-year man of Texas Tech.
One of the things he does extremely well is make the 17 or 18-foot jump shot. The Celtics have constructed their team extremely well. All of their bigs can make the perimeter jump shot because they know Walker and Pierce are going to attract so many double teams.
Murray Hughes trying to set it up. Eric Williams, a good defender, has the assignment of Jerry Stackhouse. And the Wizards continue to have their shooting problems. They were down last night by 18 midway through the second quarter. Another three. Tony Delk, who had a red-hot preseason and worked his way into the starting lineup, was able to knock it down from downtown. Here's Kwame Brown over Tony Battie, firing one off glass. Delk with the step, rejected by Brown. Brown had 4 blocks last night.
Think about what he just did, Kwame Brown. He was on the offensive boards at that end trying to score. Then he hassles the dribbler at half court. Then he runs back and gets the block shot at this end of the floor. Not bad.
Pierce working against Russell. Ryan Russell, who signed as a free agent after spending 9 years with the Utah Jazz. Stackhouse to the reverse, and he is fouled. And it's a flagrant foul.
It's a flagrant foul on the side.
A stopgap guy as far as a small forward position for the Washington Wizards. When you look down the road at the young pieces that they have, this guy has come in to give them some stability. He's an experienced player, but looking ahead, that's probably one spot they need to fill.
We don't take it the wrong way, but when we repeat the comment to him, I think
he might be offended.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just let it go then? Don't mention it to him.
All right, they swing it outside to Walker.
Obviously listening to your coaching tips, Jeff. Another three-pointer by Walker.
That won't count. Stackhouse was hit up high. The foul on Williams.
I had the same problem with my own players. I tell them go inside, they stayed outside. I say go outside, so I got into that reverse psychology game with my team.
Well, I kind of like the conversation prior to the game that you had with Patrick Ewing when Patrick came over and mentioned how much he tried to help you by telling you just keep giving me the ball down low, Jeff.
That was pretty good strategy, too. I was no dummy.
There is Patrick Ewing now, an assistant coach working with the big men of the Wizards. Foul was called on Hayward. Patrick, of course, future Hall of Famer, 11-time All-Star. Jeff, can you see a return to the court, the old 10-day contract?
No, I think he made the right decision. I think his body had broken down. It was time to leave the playing and go into coaching. I think he'll do a good job if he can, stand the long days that coaches go through, but certainly has a lot of knowledge to offer, not just big men, but the entire roster of the Washington Wizards.
And the pass thrown off the mark, but was deflected, so the Wizards maintain possession.
And I think it would be great if we could just get the league to change the rules back where you're allowed to carry the ball on post moves and take extra steps like he used to coach when he played.
Oh, you thought that was caught? Walker? Oh, what a move by Antoine Walker.
Jeff, let me ask you, would you say this is somewhat of an experiment? Larry Hughes at the point guard spot. I'm not sure that he's a point guard, but they're trying to make him into a point guard.
Right, his decision-making, as you just saw there, is a little bit suspect. Plus, he's not a range shooter, a three-point shooter, so it doesn't open up the floor for Jordan and Stackhouse. It makes it a lot easier to congest the lane.
Kwame Brown showing the touch. That's his first field goal. 20 years old, the first high school player ever selected with the first overall pick in the draft. Had a very long first year. Doug Collins telling us how he has matured and has played very well. Here's Walker. Rebounded by Baker, and it's knocked out of his hands by Brown.
He's just so much more involved and active than he was a year ago. He was lost last year. He didn't know where he was. He knew he didn't belong in the NBA. He didn't understand how hard you have to work in practice. He didn't understand the demands that are placed on the #1 pick, but he's certainly showing you why they took him #1.
Well, high school kids always do and make the mistake that they're trying to think they're going to make an impact. He needs to mature. As Doug Collins told us before the game, you can't rush maturity in this league. People forget. Kobe Bryant struggled early. Kevin Garnett struggled early. There was no need to think that Kwame Brown was going to be ready for NBA effective play coming right in last year.
If you ask people, what did Kobe average his first year? I mean, they go 15, 16 points. He averaged 7 points a game his first year in the NBA.
I remember Doug Collins at a practice last season, when we asked him about Kwame Brown, he said, well, he's in excellent condition for a 25-game high school schedule. And that was one of the problems. Javon Williams has checked in for the Celtics. This is Eric Williams. Walter McCarty has come on for the first time. Here's Walker backing his way. And Brown got a piece of it. Jordan being guarded by Javon Williams, now facing the double. And it's kicked out of bounds by Eric Williams.
Michael Jordan had mentioned that he likes to start off on the floor down in the low post area. He likes to work his way out from the low post area. Down low, he can get himself warmed up. He can get to the foul line by drawing fouls with that little pump fake he has down there and the fadeaway. And then as he warms up and gets into it, then move out to the perimeter. So we'll see if Washington gets him down in that area early on.
Here's Jordan with the open shot. So Michael missed his first, hits his second, coming off the 4 of 14 last night.
And that's how two scorers play off each other. Stackhouse created an open opportunity for Jordan. Jordan will do the same for Stackhouse. If Jordan can get into the post, maybe he can create some double teams to make the game easier for his teammates.
And the foul is called on Kwame Brown.
Well, I had mentioned that he likes to start out down in the low post area, but that's not saying that this guy's not capable of getting it going immediately from the perimeter. Get a wide open look at the basket. This is a medium-range jump shot for Michael, which he knocks down, which is going to help, obviously. The defensive guy's going to respect him more. He once was
against the Utah Jazz. He can score the ball. Not a true point guard, but a great, great three-point shooter and scorer.
Quick release by Brian Russell. Nice box out by Pierce. Pierce. And Leitner able to pull it down. Stackhouse gets inside. I saw that look, Czar. I take it you are not a fan of the shot selection of the Celtics?
Well, I think when you come down like that, pushing the ball, you could probably get a better shot with a little more time, a little more patience. Although you have to understand the philosophy of the team. They live with that jump shot a lot of times. They won a lot of games last year.
And that's a force by Baker. Jim O'Brien gives his players the green light to shoot the three. Rarely has complaints about their shot selection, even if that means low shooting percentage. Is that a question of, hey, what am I going to do? I mean, if I'm going to get angry at these guys, that's their game in particular, Antoine Walker.
They just have the responsibility as the best players on the team to know the flow of the game. If the three is going, great. If not, they've got to make sure they get into reasonable shooting range.
And Brian Russell in reasonable shooting range and able to knock it down, so the Wizards now lead 38-29.
It's nice when you get a guy like Stackhouse coming down middle of the floor, gets up in the air, and all of a sudden decides to kick it off to a teammate who has a better shot.
Foul on Hughes. And now Kwame Brown, who had a sensational first quarter, checks back in, replacing Jared Jeffries, who played very well. Jeffries, #1 draft pick out of Indiana, helping the Hoosiers reach the NCAA championship game as a sophomore.
Going back to your point, Coach, I thought it was a crime last year that Stackhouse, with how he adjusted his game to pass the ball and keep everyone involved, he didn't make the All-Star team. And
Jackie Neese has hit someone on the Celtics bench with a technical foul.
Apparently a double technical on Vin Baker and Jerry Stackhouse. So there was some conversation between the two.
A little Halloween good cheer.
Oh, yes.
But I go back to that Stackhouse point. I think when you ask guys in this league to play unselfishly, and then they do, for one of the better teams in the East, he should have been on that All-Star team last year. He continues to play like this. Washington is going to win a lot of games.
Hughes tried to take it to the rim and had it knocked away. You say last touch by Hughes.
And you know, Jeff, as coaches and general managers and presidents, you always like a trade to wind up in your favor. You get the better end of the deal. But if a trade helps both teams, and right now the way Hamilton's playing in Detroit and the way they're playing, if Stackhouse helps his team win more games, then both teams came out of it in good shape.
All right, Pierce gives it back to Williams. Eric Williams. And Nolan Fine looking for some help on that call. Last touch by Boston. Jim O'Brien, in his third year as head coach of the Celtics, took over from Rick Pitino last season. His excellent year, 49-33, second in the Atlantic. And a foul.
That was an excellent look that time by Russell because the action was happening around the foul line and lane area. Kwame Brown cut back along the baseline. He saw him, found him. Brown to the line.
I believe I was doing a game that night. And it's a 24-second violation.
That was an excellent defensive possession by the Celtics. They trapped Jordan in the pick and roll. They closed out. Stackhouse drove at baseline. They shut off the baseline. Made an extra pass. Forced a 24-second shot clock violation with a block shot on Pierce on Stackhouse's desperation three.
Down to 2:20 remaining in this first half. And back comes Jordan. Putting a move on Williams. And hits. And you can see he is feeling it. You can see the look. He now has 11.
He's in a rhythm right now. He likes the rhythm he's in.
And Tony Delk draws the foul. Michael is now 3 for 4 from the field in the second quarter.
Just give him a little brush screen so he can try and get a look at the basket. He waits for the screen to come over, and then he knows that Baker is too far back to come up and defend him, so he pulls up, knocks down a little in-between jump shot. He likes what he feels right now in the game at the offensive end.
Forget Jordan.
Here's Teron Lue wide open. Hayward kept it alive. And the Wizards coming up with all the loose balls, and it pays off to Ron Lue from downtown. Wizards now lead 50-38. And they're not booing. They are chanting for Lue. There's pressure by the Wizards, and Antoine Walker handles. Jordan with the steal. Stackhouse tied up and fouled. Look out. Fouled by Delk to stop the breakaway.
No intention to try and knock him to the ground. He tried to catch him and hold him up. He just wanted to stop him from making the layup. But Michael makes a great adjustment in the path. After the deflection and steal, he starts to go up in the air, feed the ball, and then changes where he puts it. Out in front of Stackhouse so he can run under. On the reverse spin, Michael reaches and gets a piece. And then Stack knows at the other end that he's going to have a collision, so he goes hard to the basket, tries to get it up.
To me, that's where you can see if Jordan feels good. Not just on his offensive game, but how active he is defensively. As he's gotten older, he's gotten less active defensively. They've tried to hide him on the or the lesser scorers. And when he's playing at his best, he's in passing lanes. He's making and creating havoc defensively.
Doug Collins saying that he wants to get Michael Jordan to the All-Star break in decent physical condition, unlike what took place last year, as Jordan was worn down. Wizards now lead 52-38. Biggest lead of the night. Minute 20 left. First half. McCarty. Delk with the step. Delk. And it's tipped home. Vic Baker. So Baker with 7 points. Stackhouse. McCarty lost it. It's off his foot. It'll be Washington in possession. Wizards very aggressive at the defensive
Be
end.
alert, Vin Baker! Vin Baker!
Stackhouse checking the clock. Now Jordan finds Leitner. Nice pass for Michael Jordan.
He has such great knowledge of the game, Jordan doesn't. He felt the mismatch, he dropped it over, kept his patience, ran himself to the post, then knew he was going to get double teamed, found Leitner, making the game easy for his teammates.
Shot clock out of 5. Pierce for 3. He's been off in this first half. 10 seconds remaining in the half. Jordan to the left hand. Jordan is fouled.
I don't think Michael really wanted to shoot the ball that quickly. They prefer to get the last shot, but nobody was playing him as he brought it down in transition. So he stands, nobody's on him. He sees the opening, all of a sudden he sees the rotating Celtic. He knows he has him off balance, so he takes it in, draws the foul. He knows he'll pick up 2 here at the line.
Foul on McCarty. 5 and 5/10 seconds remaining in the first half. Ryan Russell and Christian Leitner. So the Wizards up by 15. Already with 55 points. All last night against the Raptors in Toronto. They scored 68.
And I think they found a much better rotation tonight. Last night, Doug Collins played 11 players. Tonight, 9 so far. They've gotten into a much, much better flow.
Oh, the steal by Jordan, eluding Pierce. Yes! With 1 second remaining. Baker from center court. And Michael Jordan receiving a standing ovation.
You know there's nothing more that he wanted to do than make that shot right there before the half. After coming up with it, he knew exactly how much time was left. Watch him show the ball after he sees it. Let the defense go by. I've got plenty of time to knock this one down. He loves these moments.
Michael Jordan with 15 points, 5 for 10 from the field. He's the high man. The other star for the Wizards in the first half, the 20-year-old Kwame Brown, who was sensational in particular at the defensive end. Let's go to Cheryl with Kwame.
Kwame, even though you guys actually got off to a slow start, you got into a good rhythm, good ball movement in the first half so far.
Yeah, I think we're feeding off the home crowd like I thought earlier, and we erased some of the cobwebs we had from the first game. The jitters are out. Guys are just playing basketball. We spent about an hour in shoot-around just working on offense, getting up and down, so we were pretty warm.
Now, this is your second strong game. You got everybody in the arena checking their programs to make sure this is the same Kwame Brown from last season. What's different for you so far?
Well, that's the difference in a year. I mean, I just grew up a little, changed my diet, changed some of my ways, and just learned and grew up. And now you're seeing a much more aggressive, just a relaxed ball player instead of a robotic, player who didn't know what he was doing.
All right, Kwame, good luck in the second half. Thanks a lot, big fella. Let's send it back to you, Marv.
All right, Charles said there's a lesson in life for the Czar. You change your diet. You stop being robotic.
I don't know if I can.
Jeff is nodding. He's agreeing.
I don't know if I can handle the grow-up part, though.
I see. Why? Yes. Washington ends with an 11-2 run to conclude matters in the first half. Let's go to Ernie in the studio. He went 5 for 10 from the field, 15 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. As a guy who went against Michael, often without success, as head coach of the New York Knicks, although there were some good moments. How do you feel watching him now as you step away?
I wish he would have come off the bench when we were competing against him, and I just think that he's such a great competitor that he will always make up for whatever he's lost physically with, again, a greater mental approach than most NBA players.
Nice ball by Jerry Stackhouse. And the Wizards now lead at 70-51.
Marvin, if I could add, I think Jordan coming off the bench, the added benefit for the other coaches throughout the league is they'll have a much easier sell bringing maybe some players off the bench who would have normally accepted coming off the bench by saying, hey, if Jordan is willing to come off the bench, so too can you.
Haywood on that foul. That's number 4. You see Michael checking things out with assistant coach Johnny Bach. This remarkably, Johnny Bach's 50th year. Actually, it was Doug Collins and Johnny Bach to the left. His 50th year in coaching, 23rd in the NBA. Well, it's the drama of NASCAR here on TNT, and this weekend it's off to North Carolina Speedway. Cold qualifying, happy hour, the Busch Race and Winston Cup action exclusively on TNT. For complete schedule information, log on to NASCAR.com.
Kurt Busch could go for 3 in a row.
You're doing your research again.
3 in a row.
We've got a mismatch with Stackhouse being guarded by Shammond Williams.
And a holding foul. It's on Shammond Williams. There is Johnny Bach, longtime assistant with Phil Jackson in Chicago. 50 years in coaching overall. J.R. Bremer, rookie from St. Bonaventure, who is a three-point threat, was checked in for the first time for the Celtics. Jordan lost his balance, but got it to Brown. Good recovery by Michael Jordan.
Court awareness, understanding where everybody is, the athleticism and ability to fight through the stumbling, the double team, and still pick out an open teammate and lead it to a score.
16 points for Kwame Brown, 7 of the 16 here in the third. This is Bremer, guarded by Jordan. Pierce. Looked like Brown got a piece of it. The basket will count and a foul. Wizards now lead by 17.
See Pierce going baseline. Jordan guarding Bremer early to help. Pierce misses. Walker goes to the board. Finishes with a chance for the three-point play. When you are struggling offensively, get yourself in the paint, get yourself a layup, get yourself to the free throw line. Maybe now Antoine Walker can get in a little flow.
Kwame Brown does receive credit for another blocked shot. That's number 5 for Kwame. 16-point Washington lead. Now Jordan guarded by Pierce. Picked up by Baker. They double him. Stackhouse with the shot clock down to 2. Yes! And Shammond Williams actually got a piece of it.
But Stackhouse knows that he's much bigger than Shammond Williams. He took his time, just elevated up over the top and got it in.
This is Bremer.
I think Bremer's saying to himself, Michael Jordan's guarding me. What should I do right now?
I'll fire up the 3. Walker on the rebound. Rejected by Brown. That's number 6. And here's Kwame. Yes! It has been a magnificent night for the 20-year-old Kwame Brown. Standing ovation.
Marv, as they came off the floor, Michael Jordan looked over at Antoine Walker, and I saw Michael mouth to him, "I told you." And he was referring to Kwame Brown, who we see block the shot and then run the floor, get to the spot, and then Stackhouse throws back behind him, and Kwame knocks it down. Jordan gave Antoine Walker the look, the nod of assurance that we got a good young one here.
7 of 11 from the field, 18 points, 9 of the 18 in this third quarter. Wizards have their biggest lead of the game. They're up by 20. Stackhouse looking for the steal. Wizards can gamble. Pierce not able to hit from downtown. He is now 2 of 15 from the field. Jeffries. Brown has a mismatch, and now Antoine Walker tries to pick him up. Jeffries hit a 3 earlier and does it again.
And they had to double team because they have a small guard guarding Jerry Stackhouse. Boston, missing Tony Delk and Kedrick Brown, who's their best perimeter defender, is forced to go small with Bremer and Shammond Williams in the backcourt. Makes it very, very difficult.
Kedrick Brown will be out another 4 or 5 weeks with a sprained ankle, a badly sprained ankle. Minute and a half remaining in the third. Jordan to the fadeaway. He does it over the 6'1" rookie out of St. Bonaventure, J.R. Bremer. 9-0 run for Washington.
Jeff, we know that Boston is going to get better as the season goes on because Jim O'Brien and his staff will figure out exactly what they have now with the new pieces as Walker misses another 3. They'll get people in spots where they can create shots. But right now, with all these new people, remember, 8 bodies are missing from last year's roster aren't with Boston. So it'll take them a little time, but they eventually will figure out how they're going to get shots for people and score points.
Jordan again. Celtics staying with the rookie Bremer on Jordan. And 2 consecutive baseline fadeaways. Talk about the revamped Boston Celtics roster. Here's Bremer giving it back. Shot clock is down to 5. Pierce, he is fouled by Jordan, who does not like the call. Very upset despite this huge lead. That's a foul. That will mean 3 free throws. That was a 3-point attempt. Getting back to the Michael Jordan, so competitive.
That's what I love about it. Up 27, really an inconsequential foul, but he doesn't play the score. He plays the game, and he plays to win. And that is what's so different about him compared to the rest of the league. He just really, really has that competitive desire to win each and every possession.
Michael continues the discussion with Mark Wonderlich.
And this is how he works officials. He's not working him for tonight. He's working him for the next time he sees him so that he thinks that Wonderlich can trust what he's saying as the truth.
Michael genuinely upset because he felt he did not commit that foul. And now I think he's accepting it. Getting back to the Boston Celtics and the way they have restructured their roster. The key loss, Rodney Rogers. Celtics allowing Rogers to sign with the Nets, basically to avoid that luxury tax. Jordan. Yes. It has been a spectacular night for Michael Jordan. 21 points. He has turned it from what took place last night in Toronto. Michael is 8 for 13 from the field.
I don't think there's any doubt that he was inspired by the Czar's mask.
See, I thought it would go the other way, that he was so upset as Baker is able to lay it home.
I think Jeff kind of got it right, to be honest.
He may have something there. Leitner. Now, did you purchase that yourself?
Expensed it.
A little something that I keep with me.
Well, the Wizards in the third quarter on a 13-4 run, and you see the numbers on Jordan. 18 minutes, 21 points.
And Jordan goes down low because he knows that he has a much smaller defender on him, and his teammates take advantage of it. If he can do it once, why not come right back and give it to him again? He makes the second basket, and then he's feeling so good, he calls for it. They say, why not? Let's find him one more time, a little bit further downtown. He knocks it out.
Tyronn Lue off the steal, up ahead to Jared Jeffries, the rookie from Indiana. Got it, 34-24, Wizards on top. Now, right before the half, check out Michael Jordan. He's going to make a free throw. That's no big deal. This is. He steals the inbounds pass, little pump fake, see ya. 58-40 at the half. Michael finished with 21 points in 21 minutes. Kwame Brown can do some things this year. Denial on Antoine Walker. Let's go the other way. Now look at Kwame run the floor. I'm going to ask him about that because Kwame spots up. When you play D, you're rewarded. Kwame Brown, 20 points. That's a career high. 6 rebounds, 6 blocks. Second half, Tyronn Lue. Jerry Stackhouse, Stack at 22 points and 10 assists. This is a whole different team. And Juan Dixon got in with about 6:30 left, made his first 3 shots, including the floater. His coach, Gary Williams, was there egging him on. 114-69 was the final score. Gary, way to go. I like that guy. And everybody here is going to like Kwame Brown, what he's doing in his second year straight out of high school. This was a great win. This was 2 different games from a night ago.
Right. I mean, we just wanted to come out and show our home crowd that we're going to protect our home. Our coach talked about running the floor a little better because, you know, we're getting in half-court sets, so we really worked on it for about an hour, you know, for shoot-around. We just came out, we ran the court, and we were in a better shape team than they were.
Career highs for you. The 18 boards the other day, the 20 points tonight.
Yeah.
It's a different Kwame.
Yeah, just, you know, more focused this year. Took care of my body this summer, worked hard, you know, listened to my coaches, you know, just coming out and just playing hard.
How fun is it, Kwame, when you do something like this at home as opposed to how much of a downer it was last night?
Oh, it was a real downer last night. You know, I played okay individually, but, you know, it made it bittersweet because we lost. But tonight, I have a good feeling knowing that I played well, contributed to the team, and we won.
It's a good team, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Kwame.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, Kwame Brown, he had a career-high 20 points tonight.